Okay, Stampers, today we're going to be making a quick last-minute Christmas gift, and I wanted to let you know that you could also use these as gift tags on gifts for birthdays, graduations. They are little shaker dome ornaments like this, and they're filled with little snowflake sequins. So when you shake them, so I'm going to be showing you how to make that today. We're going to be using Gnome for the Holidays stamp set out of our August through December catalog. And then we're also going to be using those shaker domes. And those shaker domes are right here. And they're on page 158 of our annual catalog. And I would stack up on these because I'm going to warn you, these little gifts are addicting. So I have already pre-stamped and colored some of the items that we're going to be using today, because the whole concept of this video is the actual ornament. The domes come in a box and they're packed in packs of 10, so you can do 5 of these ornaments or gift tags. Now if you did the gift tags, you wouldn't necessarily have to do them double-sided, but I like doing them double-sided for Christmas ornaments because you can see both sides when it spins, so the back side isn't just blank. Now I do take my domes and I take my embossing buddy and just rub on the inside a little bit just to help with the static when we go to fill this. And I do it now so I don't forget. So I'm just rubbing it with an embossing buddy. You could use a dryer sheet also if you'd want. Now to get the shape of the cardstock that we're going to be putting in here, I actually put this on a piece of Pool Party, drew around it, and cut it. If you use the dies that coordinate with this, with these, it cuts the inside, it doesn't cut the outside, and I wanted to be able to secure this, so that's why I did it that way. I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of my graph paper, and I have taken a little bit of rubbing alcohol, a couple drops of our glimmer paint, and 1 drop of Pacific Point ink refill, and put it into our spritzer. And what we're going to do is we're just going to spritz, let me start here, the back of that. So you can hardly see it there because it's drying. But just by spritzing that on there, it's going to create a little bit of shimmer and depth to that. So we're going to set that aside right now. And I wanted to show you how I colored onto the crumb cake cardstock. So we have this piece here, and first of all I'm going to take my chalk marker, and where I did the Christmas lights and the light shining through the window, I just took my chalk marker and dabbed it a little bit. This allows you to color on dark colored cardstock. You could do this on Nighty Navy, on any of the browns, but this little trick will help those colors when you color them, your images, be brighter. And I'm just going over doing a second coat, just like that. You could do your leaves too, but I'm not going to do them. Now I colored my gnomes using my Stampin' Blends. And the colors I used for that are the light and dark Granny Apple Green, the dark Mango Melody, the Ivory, the light Rococo Rose, the dark Real Red, and my color lifter. And that's how I colored my gnomes. Now on our little tree house, our gnome house, we're actually going to be using our Stampin' Write markers. And the colors I'm using are Pacific Point, Crushed Curry, Mango Melody, Crumb Cake, Granny Apple Green, Real Red, and Soft Suede. So let's start coloring. And I'm going to give that ink just a little bit more time to dry. So I'm going to take my Soft Suede and color in here, right in the shadow part of the door and the window. I'm going to grab my Crumb Cake And on its side, I am going to color in the door. Now you always want to color on the side of your Stampin' Write marker because you don't want to ruin that tip. It's got that right there. Now I'm going to go over a couple of the spots where it's a little bit darker. I don't want to use the soft suede, but that adds a little shadowing in there. Now I'm going to take the crushed curry and do the light, or the light shining through the window, I should say, real quickly. Grab my Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to color my leaves. Now you're going to see how they are darker when I color directly onto that cardstock rather than coloring on the white chalk first. Okay, we're going to go ahead and color our light bulbs, and we're going to start with Real Red. Just dabbing a little bit of color. Pacific Point next. Pacific Point reminded me of the color of those blue light bulbs that come on the Christmas lights when I was growing up. Mango Melody, because it's kind of an orangey yellow color, it's once again the color of those big light bulbs that we had when I was growing up. Okay, now we're going to do the Granny Apple Green. And you can see there how much brighter it is down here than it is up there. Okay, now we're going to start all over again, our pattern. So our Real Red and our Pacific Point. Okay, we're going to cut that out. Okay, so we have all our pieces ready to go. So we're going to grab our piece of Pool Party and start assembling. So I'm just going to grab one of the little tree houses, and we are going to adhere it to the snow globe. And I'm going to put it up here, and where it's going to overlap onto where the dome is going to seal, I'm actually going to trim it. So I'm just going to take my paper snips and kind of guesstimate where that's going to go and just trim that right down. We're going to do the same to the other side. Like I said, this is going to be a two-sided ornament, so when it spins on your tree, it's decorated on both sides. Put that up in that corner, pick it up and trim it. Okay, for our little gnomes, we are going to go ahead and put Stampin' Dimensionals on the back because I want it it's 3-dimension here. So we're going to very quickly put some dimensionals on him. Now you could do anything on the inside of these. I have, my grandchildren love going to the aquarium, and I thought our Whale Done stamp set would be adorable for my one granddaughter who that's all she talks about is the aquarium. So I'm going to be doing one with that, and I'm just going to use the Designer Series paper as the background. And then cut out the little fishies and let them roam around in there as the shaker part. Okay, so we're going to put this guy right here. We're going to put him down and try to avoid the bottom area and the top area where that dome is going to be adhered to. Okay, and now our next step is going to be adding some snow. I've let the snow, the glimmer paste dry for about 5 minutes, so it's dry enough. It's not completely dry, but it's dry enough to continue on with our ornament. I'm going to grab some of all the trimmings, embellishments out of, this is found in the August to December catalog also, and we are going to place 2 of these little poppy, I believe they're Poppy Parade dot elements as the door handle right there and on each side. Now I am working my silicone mat just in case I smash a little bit of the snow. I don't want it on my work surface, and it'll come off easily from my silicone mat. Okay, we're all set there. Now I do want to mention that if you wanted to use sequins or our rhinestones on the ornaments, we have our holiday rhinestones and some of our clear ones colored with the Stampin' Blends would be really cute there also. But this is for a little boy, so I am going to hold off on that. Next, we are going to take our snowflake sequins from the same mini catalog, and we are just going to scatter some of those onto the center. Just a pinch or two. I'm just doing a pinch plus a little bit on there. We're going to take our dome. Now you can see that on the inside where I use my embossing buddy, it's a little bit cloudy. So I'm just going to wipe it a little bit so that it becomes clear again. I don't want any of the excess residue on there. Taking my Take Your Pick tool, I'm going to remove this protective layer from the adhesive, and we are going to go ahead and stick this on and lining it up with the edges of the pool party. Now I can already tell that I didn't line it up correctly, so I'm going to go ahead and take my paper snips and just trim around this. It's going to be okay because it is adhered on there, so my sequins will stay in there. And so we're just going to trim that little bit off the top. We're going to flip it over because it is two-sided, and look at that, how cute that is. Those little snowflakes. And I'm okay with it sticking onto the dome a little bit too, because then when they're hung up, they'll be sticking up and give the effect of a 3D effect. So we're going to flip this over, grab another pinch and possibly a little bit more of our snowflake sequins. We're going to grab our other dome, and just like the other one, make sure the inside doesn't have excess residue on it. Taking our Take Your Pick tool, removing the protective coating, and putting that onto this side. Being careful to line it up with the dome underneath. Okay, and just squeezing all the way around. I'm squeezing with my fingers, adhering that to the paper. Okay, so we've got that far. And just take my Take Your Pick tool and slide that off. I'm going to go to the other side, and there we go. Slide that off. Now we no longer carry glitter, but I thought, you know what? I have some silver glitter. I've done this with our Dazzling Diamonds glitter that we don't carry anymore, but I have some of our silver. Go into your stash and glam it up however you want. So I wanted to try silver on this one just because I've already done the Dazzling Diamonds like I said. And I want to show you the difference your glitter can make. I'm going to go ahead and tap that all off. Okay, and then we're going to go to the other side and just put it on. So isn't this so much easier? I mean, the adhesive is already on there, so they make it so easy in creating these. Tap it. Okay, I'm going to take my dryer sheet and just go around the edge a little bit, getting off that excess glitter. Oh, you know, once you start playing with glitter, you're glitterified for the entire day, right? I know my husband's going to say, you have got glitter on your face, on your eyes, on your glasses. So look at that. Isn't that cute? Look how it just glimmers and shines. Just imagine that on a Christmas tree. Okay, I am going to grab my crocodile. I found that this is the best to use to punch these holes. If you use a regular hole punch, you want to do this on the single dome. You don't want to do it through both of them because it is quite thick. And we're just going to lay this up right against that raised part and punch. I then have all the trimmings ribbon combo pack. And I am going to use the green ribbon here and just poke it from the front to the back. I am going to fold it up a little bit. It helps make it easier to get through that hole. It's not working too good, so let me try my take your pick tool. Just get that through and pull it. Now I'm going to pull off about 12 inches or so. I'm not going to be exact, but make it long enough. So we're just going to set that to the side for a second, and then I am going to take a little Christmas wish from the stamp set, and we're going to stamp that onto a piece of Whisper White. And since I used the green ribbon, I think I will use the Granny Apple Green to stamp that on. Just going to stamp it right there. Doesn't matter if it's straight or not, because I'm then going to take my classic label punch and punch that out. Now I'm punching it out so that there is more room to the front of the, is that too dark? To the front of the phrase. We're just going to give that a little punch, grab my 1/8 inch hole punch, and punch a hole. Now we have a little tag. Now on the back of this, you could put the recipient's name or even the year. We make Christmas ornaments for the family every year. I'm then going to take my ribbons and I am going to tie a knot approximately 1.5 inches, 2 inches above the dome, and just loop it around. And I'm not going to pull it really tight because I want it to be more of a decorative knot. So that's, I guess, about 2 inches up. I'm going to take my tag and loop the ribbon through there, and then we're going to add a little jingle bell to it. You know, our jingle bells are really cute. They come in green, red, and gold in the pack. And I think I only have green and red left. So I want to do it the opposite color of the ribbon. So I'm just going to grab a little red jingle bell, add that onto the ornament, and pull it through just like that. Take the two ends again, and I'm going to tie another knot close to that, but leaving just a little bit of a loop. So you have a choice that you can put this through a hook and hang it, or you could hang it from the lower loop. Grabbing my paper snips, we're just going to trim that off, and we are done with this adorable little ornament. Gnomes are in this year for adults and children, two-sided, a little shaker. Isn't that cute? So until next time, everybody, I hope you have a joyful day, and don't forget, the items I used here can be purchased through my online store. You can email me at judystamps.com, and if you'd like more project ideas, go to my Facebook and like my Facebook page. Until next time, happy stamping!